Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. We got to talk about this Big Brother Canada 9 eviction episode and the whole week.
Yes, we do. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up.
And if you want to support us on Patreon, there's a link in the description. Click it.
Yes.
Support us.
Hey, everybody. What's
Hi,
up?
everybody.
Oops, I'm just clicking comments. Hi, okay.
Yeah.
So we had an eviction tonight.
We did. How are you feeling, Sarah?
Well, how am I feeling? Not great. But does it make sense for the house? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes. I just have to rub in a little bit that you have a second.
That I am
draft team gone.
left with Beth. Get it trending. Left with Beth.
Oh man, I was really nervous that someone from my team was going to go this week. So two people. First Rohan's on the block. And then I'm like, great, Rohan's saving himself with the veto. And then Austin's up there and they're talking about flipping the vote on Austin. And I'm like, can we not? Can we leave my team alone, please?
Yeah, they did not. Your team is A-okay and you got points and you're doing just fine. You're actually in the lead, but
not good.
Not for long. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. All right.
I know.
All right.
All right.
So you guys, we lost Kyle tonight. That's the eviction that happened. There was some chitter chatter during the week to flip it.
Was. Yeah.
Tina wanted to flip it. Tara does anything Tina wants. Vic wanted to flip it to get Austin out. Even Beth was on board to get Austin out.
And Braden. Or no, not Braden. Wait, why am I thinking that? No, obviously not Braden. He's Austin's number one ally.
Yeah, definitely not Braden. But the two sides that we saw Austin not really campaign. She was like, hey guys. And then that was it. And then Kyle we saw a little bit in the episode tonight. Kyle did do a good little push to Jed and Ty after he sort of got the heads up that he might have a chance. And he knew he could get Tina, Tara, Vic, and obviously Rohan's votes. That would be 4. He was basically just saying, Jed and Ty, like, I need you guys. And then I'm good. And he just made the mistake of going a little too far, I think. He just went a little too far. Because Jed and Ty, they were right there. They were like, I like what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're giving us more info than Austin did. Austin was this.
Yep. But name names. Like, give us some names, buddy. We want to hear it. And he's like, well, I got to go after Kiefer. Yeah. And they're like, okay. And then as soon as Kiefer walks into the room, they're like, so just so you know, Kyle's going to come after you. And that really solidifies. Kiefer's like, okay, Kyle's got to go then. Then, you know.
Yeah, Kiefer was like, remember when I said my target was Kyle? Could you guys stop it with all of this other nonsense stuff? Yeah. Basically, that's what Kiefer's face said, but he plays it pretty cool. Kiefer's really, I mean, Kiefer's got the best strategy in the house. I know some people don't get it, but like he sees the big picture. He's playing the game.
Well, yeah, because let's bring it back, Sarah, to the beginning of this week when Kiefer is just the HOH. Also, let's remember promising Austin safety from the very beginning when they are competing with each other in the HOH competition. So, you know, good for him to be able to follow through on that promise and get Kyle out. But I was blown away that everybody was coming to do their little talks with Kiefer pre-noms in pairs, just openly coming up in their pairs. Oh, Jed and Ty, you're done. Okay, who's the next pair? Oh, Tina and Tara. Great. Who's next pair? Austin and Braden. Great. It's like, I guess we just can't possibly be more obvious that we're all working in duos. And then Kiefer, sure enough, is like, well, I got to go after a duo because this is ridiculous.
Because this house is full of duos.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, I love it. It's so much fun. It's more fun to me to watch a bunch of little duos and trios instead of like one large majority or even two sides of the house. I think this is so much more fun because you get like room to have floaters going over here and like
people are shifting.
Duos now work together and they used to work with this duo, you know, what But yeah, it's crazy that they go have their conversations in the pair.
Yeah. Right.
Have you ever seen that before? I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Not that I can remember. I mean, of course, we've seen like duo alliances, but not virtually everyone in the house.
Right.
In a duo. Like the only people who didn't talk to him in pairs were Beth. Did we see Beth even talk to him? I don't know. And Victoria. Victoria was the one they were focusing on. Like she's the island.
The island.
She's the one trying to play everybody. You know, I don't really know. I guess Beth is in that, isosceles triangle with Ty and
Beth
Judson.
is in a isosceles triangle. She's not in a duo. She's in a trio. And so that's
the isosceles triangle. I don't want to take this to a place that we don't need to go, but that isosceles triangle reference just feels a little too Eiffel Tower-y for me. And I don't love that, are you familiar with that sexual position, Sarah?
I'm not, David. I mean,
Google it after the stream. I don't love it for Beth. So
all right.
Think of something else.
Definitely am never going to know if there is some sort of sexual reference to anything anybody is ever saying. If it's a drug reference or a sexual reference, it's no idea. But I was like, oh yeah, they're taller than her. So I don't know, whatever. The fact that anyone remembers what all those triangles, he knew all the triangles, and I was very impressed.
I like that as a math person. I was like,
exactly.
Hi for knowing that. Good for him.
Yeah. Well, she's in a triangle, so that's not a duo. But what were we talking about? A show? Now I'm just like, what's an Eiffel Tower?
We're a bit flustered now. Sorry.
What?
But yes, I just was
what show is this?
Just could not believe that all of these duos were, campaigning with Kiefer just openly, and it just felt so messy. But you're right; it provided for some really good entertainment this week.
And so, okay, duos, and then we got our Kyle out. Kiefer is basically the one who was like, "Please no," and because at first there was a little bit of like Victoria was like, "Well, I would never put Austin up. Like, we have to get her out now," because there was that argument of like, we got to get Kyle out now. We'll get Austin out another time. And she's like, "Well, I'm too scared to put Austin up. Like, I wouldn't do it, but I'll put Kyle up anytime," which is like such an interesting argument. And it's real interesting when the guys go, "Wait, you wouldn't put Austin up? More details about this. Tell me more about why you wouldn't put Austin up." And then she had to like backtrack and be like, "No, totally. I would. I mean, like I would.
Yeah,
like I would.
If it came to it, I'd do it.
Like if I was HOH, like okay, I would. But so she had to sort of backtrack and be like, yeah, no, whatever you want, Kiefer. And same with Tina and Tara. We're like, okay, we get it. We'd like to vote Austin out, but like we're not going to put you in that position because David. This is the point. You pointed this out to me before we went live. What is their reasoning for wanting to keep Kyle?
Because they want him to go after Ty and Judson. They want these like guys to go after each other, which I think is like good for their game. Like, yeah, they do want to keep Kyle and have those guys kind of like just, be after each other each week so that they don't have to do it. But it's just not good for Kiefer's game, obviously. And so, when he gets wind of this, he's very much like, no, we're not doing this.
Well, and also if you're Vic and you're pretending that you're working with them, and she is technically working with them this week, she can't say, "Oh, I want to keep Kyle in so that he'll go after you guys with Ro." Like, right. She can't say that. Tina and Tara can't say, "Yeah, no, we're trying to set you guys up to go after each other." Yeah. They have to play like, "Oh, no, we get it. We'll do what you want, Kiefer."
Yeah. Right.
But yes, so I was like, the reason.
I mean, as much as I obviously wanted Austin to stay because she's on my fantasy team, blah, blah, blah. Like the idea of a flip vote was great, in the middle of the week. I was like, oh my God, like, yes, we're gaming. People are scheming. Yeah. This is fantastic, dramatic, but ultimately, I guess it was too big of a move to get Austin out at this point. But, I did feel like I remember these segments with Ty and Beth talking about like, it's going to be so hard to get Austin out later. And I'm like, is it? Like, Or are you just saying that so that you can, flip the vote on her now? I don't really see how it's that hard to get Austin out later on.
I mean, we don't know. Austin has won a couple comps, or she won one and came close a couple times. So she
comes close when she wants to. Yeah.
But they've also, So I don't know. Is she a comp beast? You might think she is at this point because Kyle's won nothing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So maybe that's an argument, but yeah, I mean, the reality is a lot of people are coming for a lot of people, which is very exciting when we have a twist called an invisible HOH. David, what is this?
Perfect timing for an invisible HOH. I'm so excited for this. And I'm sure Kiefer's like, why did I have to win last week's HOH? Like, I could have won this one. He's like miserable not being able to compete in this.
Yeah.
Everybody else gets to compete in back-to-back HOHs now, except for Kiefer. But the comp started, obviously, at the end of this episode. We learned that they are doing their noms in secret. They will get all of the perks of HOH in secret, just not the HOH suite. And they're eligible for veto and next week's HOH. Like, I don't know how we've never seen this before. This is amazing. I love it.
I love it. I'm so excited. It's probably going to go horribly wrong because it'll be like Tara, somebody who can't keep her mouth shut, and she'll just ruin it.
Yeah.
But if it's like Tina will zip it. She will not say anything, and she will do some damage in the house. Like, so it could be so good.
So good. And this is one of those things, like, shut up about it and keep it a secret and save it until you get to the final two. You know what I mean? Yes. And then reveal that you were the invisible HOH. Like, how cool would that be? But I think you're totally right. People are going to try to use it as leverage. It's going to get around. And then, I guess it's going to end up kind of like a regular old HOH, except that this person can compete in veto in the next week's HOH competition. But God, I would love it if it was kept a secret.
Is messy. We know this, but they're also fairly paranoid, and they're also pretending to work with people. So it's, I mean, if Jed and Ty go up on the block, which is very likely if anybody but them wins.
Yes.
They are not going to know. They will not be able to figure it out because they have no idea how many people are really coming for them. They're a little clueless.
Yeah.
It's like, that's so fun.
Yeah, but everybody better get their like backup story ready in terms of like, well, who would you have nominated? Because that's the question that's going to be running around. It's going to be like, who nominated Ty and Jed? And everybody's going to be on this witch hunt to figure out who it is. And they're all going to be like, it wasn't me. I would have put up so-and-so and so-and-so. And then like that starts a whole new drama because now like everybody's supposed targets are like out in the open. Like, I'm just really excited for all of the conversations that are going to come out of this.
I am too. Yes, Abby, the HOH gets to play in everything because it's secret. So they'll play in veto, even though the HOHs don't play in veto in this Canada season. And they'll play for HOH next week. So they can legitimately, just like if you win a power in BBUS, you could legitimately keep this a secret the entire season.
Yes.
It's up to you to ruin this.
That's right. Now, I want to clarify with the veto, they don't automatically play. They're just eligible to play. They could be drawn, right?
They could be drawn.
Okay.
Yes. And Jacqueline, good question. I don't think the nominations are telling necessarily, right? So Jed and Ty are so many people's targets, but they don't know that. So if Jed and Ty go up, they're going to assume it's Rohan. They're just going to assume it's Rohan, but Tina will do it.
Tina, Tara.
I don't think Beth would do it. Austin, Brayden, they're all putting Jed and Ty up. So they're not going to necessarily know. But yeah,
I think even Victoria might do it in secret. Put up Ty.
She might.
She
might because she's really good at playing all sides. She's so good at playing the floater game. Let's see. A lot of people will put Kiefer up. He won't be able to figure it out, although he's going to hope it's not
Yeah.
the people
I
he's
think it's
working with.
tricky. It becomes easier, I think, to have the noms not be telling if you put up a duo, because people should be coming after duos. It makes sense. So if we see like an Austin and a Braden up on the block next to each other, okay, I think that's easier to kind of for anybody to justify as like, yeah, okay, they're targets. Tina and Tara, I don't know so much. They're a duo, but like I think everybody likes them. I don't know that anybody is really like going after them right now.
No, they're in the best place in the whole house, and no one's going after Tina. Jolene, we don't know, and I think it's going to be hard to tell because it's not going to be obvious when the feeds,
I know.
Usually we got it very clear who the HOH is, and we're going to have to like sit here and stare at the feeds.
We need someone to cam talk and tell us that they're the HOH,
Right, exactly. But it's going to be super, super exciting. I'm double checking Twitter that we haven't.
I truly think
anything.
that the best set of nominees to put up is Ty and Jedson, because then you also have Beth as a backup. You know what I mean? And you're breaking up that trio. Everybody knows in the house knows that is like a power trio at this point. Unbreakable. They're going to be so loyal to each other until the end. You got to break that up. And so this is the perfect week to take that shot and be able to do it anonymously and totally effectively. Like you can guarantee.
I think the odds are one of the two of the isosceles triangle is going up. I think that the odds are not in their favor. And what's funny is that they don't know that. They were talking about not gunning for this HOH because they're not ready to show their cards, not understanding how much of a target they are.
Yeah. Well, I think that changes now. Like they're going to gun for it just as much as anybody else. Like, everybody is gunning for HOH this week. Like when we ended the episode, the counts were so similar. I mean, the comp is going to get like insane. The number of rocks dropping is going to like be so many at once that the counts are, going to start varying a lot. But everybody's number was within like 2 or 3 of each other. So everyone is taking it very seriously.
You know what? I was thinking I was going to I was worried about a tech issue. Like, what if you're like rock, and it didn't get all of them? That like you'd want to count in your head at the same time and like look over and confirm.
Yeah.
To make sure. If you're just
there's going to come a point where you can't look away from the rocks. There's going to be so many rocks pouring off of that conveyor belt that if you turn to look at the count, you're going to miss the rocks falling. Like that's how the producers will eventually be able to like, have a bigger spread in terms of numbers. It's just by rocks cascading down over and over. For now, like the little bit that we saw, they're pretty much able to track it pretty accurately,
Yeah, sorry. I'm also reading Twitter to make sure we don't miss. But yeah, I hope it gets real because at first it's like rock. I hope it's like rock. So it gets really, really, really confusing.
Yeah.
But I think everyone will gun for it because it's invisible, even though people who were like, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to show my cards yet. I think that everyone's going to gun for it. I think that's crazy that the HOH still gets to vote because you could easily just call them in to vote to play it off in front of everyone.
Not be able to cast a vote.
But not actually count that vote, not actually be able to cast it.
Right.
So that's interesting that they went ahead and just did it. So Wikipedia says Tara, and that's great. But until we get official confirmation on the feeds, we won't report anything. But a Tara HOH will be hilarious. Although I don't think she can keep her mouth shut, and that's the thing. I need her to keep her mouth shut. Whoever wins this HOH needs to zip it.
She's gonna tell Tina. She's
going to tell Tina, and she should, because this honestly should be Tina's HOH.
Yeah.
The two of them need to work together on this.
Yeah, they will. She will tell Tina. They tell each other everything. And Tina, I think, will have a big hand in this HOH. Like, Tara's not going to do anything without Tina's stamp of approval,
I hope Tara knows that. Like, the reason Tara is sitting so pretty in this house is because of Tina's protection.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she'd be pawn
such an
every
easy
week.
out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, nobody likes Tara. Let's just
like,
put her out.
whatever, get Tara out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's see. Okay, so Tina and Tara definitely want to go after Jed and Ty, but they also, it'll be Jed and Ty. It'll definitely be Jed and Ty. I think more likely than not, Jed and Ty.
Because I mean, it's going to be some combination of the Sunsetters. I think if anybody other than the Sunsetters gets the HOH, because Tina and Tara are, Tina, has been working with the Sunsetters,
is
not
dead.
so much lately.
So what do you mean?
But I mean like Ty and Kiefer and Beth and Jedson, like that group of 4.
Yeah.
So I think anybody outside of that group of 4 gets HOH, and we're going to see some twosome from that group of 4 go up. I just don't really think, I don't see Tara putting up an Austin and a Brayden, even though they are like a duo. They're working with them.
They're kind of working with them, even though they're kind of working with Jed and Ty too. Yeah. They just don't.
Now, how are Sunsetters dead if they're still doing the Sunsetters move when they're casting votes in the diary room? Because they're doing this,
but who did
and that's
this?
the Sunsetters move. That was Jedson and I think Ty and maybe even Beth.
Yeah, right. The isosceles triangle, who are delusional and don't know what's going on in the house. Like Tina and Tara are not Sunsetters anymore. Or Tara was never.
Well, Tara was never one. Yeah, but Kiefer's Tina, not in with them.
Yeah, Kiefer is the 4th to that trio. But Tina said, peace out, yo. And Kiefer is just trying to play like, I'll reel her back in. We'll be Sunsetters.
So she formally said, I'm not working with y'all?
Well, she didn't formally announce it. She didn't write a letter.
So then, like,
of
Sunsetters is like maybe dead, but people think it's alive in the house.
It's just the delusional people. They don't know. They don't even know their targets. Pretty little boys are so confused at this whole game.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense to go after Jed and Ty now because we lost the Kyle and Ro duo, even though Ro is part of Austin and Brayden. So that's a trio now.
Sure.
So if we knocked down the other trio now, take out one of Jed or Ty, you're still, you're just kind of chipping away and keeping it kind of balanced, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, David, you didn't get to talk to me about the veto comp. Did you want to talk about the veto comp?
I did, because I was so proud of my guy Rohan for pulling that one out. I was also proud of Jedson. He's on my team too. So I was like, definitely, I would have been okay with Jedson winning, but I was just like, Jedson, chill, so that Rohan can win the veto and take himself off the block, and my fantasy team is safe. Little did I know that Austin would be going up as the replacement nominee. But I thought that competition was so funny with them like popping their heads out of those mole holes.
Wasn't it so cute?
Blowing the foam balls. It was really cute. But I was surprised that Rohan pulled it out.
I was too. The dude hasn't eaten. But up to that point, he had not eaten.
Oh my God.
Blowing, it would be so hard. I'd be so out of breath and like lightheaded. Like that's hard to constantly be doing that. I'll act it out for you, David. It's that hard.
Well, I think it was Kyle was like, my mouth is dry. Like, I'm too tall for this. I definitely related. I was like trying to crawl under that table when you're 6'3". Yikes. So that poor guy did not have it together, but Rohan was just like zipping around. And this was even before he got voted off slop, right? The veto comp happened before.
Right.
Yeah. So
right.
Good for
exactly.
him.
All right. Let me go to our draft because, Rohan helped you out a lot.
Thanks, Ro.
You're winning right now, just ahead of Jolene by 1 point, though.
1 point,
not
still
much.
A close game. Anybody's game.
And I think that you're going to lose a point because I think Jedson might be going up on the block.
Yeah. Ooh. Now, do you think Jedson's going to go home over Ty if it's the two of them?
Well, that's tough. I don't know, honestly.
I think it would be because I think Ty has a better social game than Jedson right now. So I feel like Ty might be able to talk some people. And Jed is just like, they're such a power duo, obviously, but Jed specifically is like really putting it all out there in terms of being a challenge beast. You know, he is winning or coming very close to winning whenever he's there. I don't think people are looking at Ty quite the same way.
Yeah, that might be true. Jed has one more. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I did watch the roast, and it was some of the best stuff I've ever seen. So yesterday in the house, and I played it on my Twitch stream last night. I played some of it. But yesterday in the house, they did a roast. And when I heard them say, hey guys, 30 minutes to a roast, I was like, what are these people doing? This is going to ruin all of your games. Yeah. Why do you think this is a good idea?
They're messy, Sarah.
They are messy, but you know what? Turned out to be hilarious. Jolene, who do you think won the roast? I think it was Kiefer. Kiefer, first off, Tara was hosting, and Tara was like, you know, next up, Kiefer. And he was like, oh, thank you, Tara. I haven't seen you in 11 episodes. And I was like, for some reason, she was the star of tonight's episode, but that doesn't actually make sense. And then, oh gosh, now I'm forgetting, but he just like laid in, he said something about all the noise, like, you know, BB wakes them up with the hammering and the nailing every night. Oh no, that's just Beth and either Jed or Ty. And then, he said they've been looking for a mop. It was on Tina's head the whole time.
Okay.
He said, why does Beth's face look like Alberta? And then he said something like, this town and this town aren't lining up. And they were dying. I don't know what Alberta's supposed to look like, but I'm pretty sure it's not a face. People shouldn't look like states.
That's a good roast, though. That's good.
It was. Burn. He had them. I mean, most people were making fun of the isosceles triangle, but it was. Sure. It was pretty good
with that. But this house is messy. I felt the same way when they were partying in this episode, when they had the alcohol and Tina's chugging the mayonnaise and Jedson is making out with Brayden. I was like,
this was so funny.
Much alcohol is no bueno for the game, because y'all are going to say something that you can't take back and you're just going to spill the secrets. We didn't really see much of that like in the edit here, but I was just like, oh, y'all are lit. Like, this is
They were lit. I loved that the matriarchs got to like get it started and chug a little before they give it to the children. But then the children straight lost their minds. But honestly, so did Tina. Why was she chugging mayonnaise? Like, what?
Chugging mayonnaise. Yeah. That was disgusting. And Party Vic came out. We now have proof that she is a party girl. She was humping the couch, spreading her legs. Kiefer was like, you're going to fall onto your head off the couch. Please relax.
Like straight up Party Vic was here to play. No one cared about the game that night. I don't even know if they realized they were in a game. Oh, but not going to lie, that kiss was pretty hot.
With Jedson and Brayden?
Yes.
Yeah, not complaining.
Not complaining about that one moment. I'll take it.
And Jedson was also giving him a lap dance at one point. There was a lot of, I'm not saying anything, but Jedson was not focused so much on Beth. He was focused on Brayden here.
Where did Beth
once go? Once the booze came out. So.
Not sad about it. And then Beth was like, welcome to, what did she say? Welcome to the party?
Or welcome to the club.
Yeah, club, right. Sorry, of course. I was like, girl, you had a couple. Oh. Yep. All Lord is right. Party Vic. It was good. I was so excited they showed that. I mean, like, they don't show it on the feeds, and they rarely show that kind of stuff on the TV show. But BBCan was like, "Let's go."
Great. Well, when the party's that good, they got to show it,
right? I'm definitely here for a Brayson show, man. Give it to me.
Oh yeah,
I will take it. Oh, now people are saying, Austin.
We don't know.
Interesting.
This is what it's going to be like. We're not going to know until someone from a duo tells their other member of the duo, because that's going to happen.
Yep. That's what we're waiting for.
Think wouldn't tell Victoria, maybe. Kiefer, maybe. Well, Kiefer's not playing. So I guess Victoria and maybe Rohan. But they'd probably tell each other, right?
Oh, no one should tell Victoria anything.
Right? Anything.
Oh, my God.
Well, who's Rohan going to tell? Is he going to tell Austin and Braden?
Yes.
Or is he going to keep it secret?
This is the problem. The only person I think who could really keep it a secret is Tina. And Kiefer, but Kiefer's not eligible. No, I don't think Tina will tell Tara. Tina doesn't need Tara.
Yeah.
Tina could keep that a secret. If she tells Tara, that's dangerous. Tara's mouth. She's got the mouth of the South. What's that saying? I don't know. She doesn't need to tell Tara. Like, Tina can make her own decisions and just like play it off.
Play dumb. Okay.
If
and what about Victoria?
Victoria will tell everyone because she won't know who she's working with, right? Let's say she sticks with Jed and Ty this week. She's going to tell Jed and Ty. Jed and Ty are going to tell Beth. Beth is going to tell Austin. Like, it's just...
Yeah, it's going to get around.
You know? This is my fear. That means Tina has to win. She's the only one who will keep it a secret.
Yeah.
I would love to think that Ro would keep it a secret because he gave us such great... clickbait in his pre-interviews, but he has not delivered on his pre-interview. So
well, and the thing with Rohan, I think, is that he would try to use it to improve his position in the house, which he kind of needs to do because his like number one guy is out now and he's just been on the outs all season. So I think he might use it as a way to be like, will you work with me? Like, come on, throw me a bone here. So I don't think he'd keep it a secret either.
Yeah, good point. Ro's not on slop. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the HOH isn't going to choose who's on slop. So they got to come up with a different way to find out who's on slop.
Mm-hmm. Maybe the HOH is eligible for slop too. You're eligible for everything.
Yeah. Ooh, I wonder how they're going to figure that one out. Yeah. God. Oh, there's so much potential for this Invisible HOH to be so amazing, yet it's probably going to flop. Yeah.
It's probably going to flop, but it's such a good power. It's so good. The potential's so good.
So good. So, okay, that means we need Tina to win it and keep it a secret. Okay.
Yeah. So what was it? Was it Wikipedia that's now saying Tina? We need that to be right. Whichever outlet said Tina. Somebody
Twitter is saying Tina. We can't believe
Twitter. Come on, let's believe Twitter.
No official Twitter is saying it. So are you just in Stan Twitter? Because they don't know what they're talking about.
I'm just saying, whoever's saying Tina, I want them to be right. Because that seems like our best chance for a good Invisible HOH.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I mean, I'm here for the messy. I'm here for the floating, and I'm here for the pretending that I'm working with other people. I'm all about it. Mm-hmm. Sad that I'm left with Beth, but that's on me for being a dum-dum.
Well, it's, you just never know. You never know these people, Sarah. When we're picking them in the draft, we think we know them, but we don't.
We don't. Don't. All right. So tomorrow I will be on Jolene's channel talking about whatever. I mean, hopefully we can figure out who the HOH is. I don't understand how they're going to do meetings tomorrow. There's no meetings.
They can't. Literally, everyone's going to be just like sitting around paranoid all day long.
So if it's not Tara, she's going to be extra paranoid because that's how she rolls. And she'll sit down with everyone and just be like, I don't know. So I don't know. But I'm not coming for you. I'm not coming for you. Yeah. I don't know. Are you the HOH? I don't know. And if she's not completely freaking out, then we'll know that she's the HOH. That's actually a good sign.
She's probably going to have a tell. Yeah, for sure.
Amy's the HOH. Got it. Love
that. Congrats, Amy. Good job.
Yes. Well, we're going to love your noms, whoever it is that you pick. We're going to love it. Yeah. All right. And then so on Monday, David and I still have Drag Race because that show.
I think we're at the top 12 now for Drag Race.
Oh, are we down?
We're down to the top 12.
maybe the top 10, maybe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be back for that. And of course, a bunch of BBCan9 stuff next week. And I know I've got some lovely Aussies in the chat. Sorry, there's no Amazing Race Australia tonight, but James and I will be here on Sunday following the finale. James and I will be recapping the whole week. There is quite the controversial stuff to talk about, and I cannot wait to find out who wins and to talk about some opinions. I got some feelings and opinions.
And don't forget, we're still doing Survivor Micronesia over on Patreon for those of you who are our patrons.
And it's the merge, and it's just so good now. We're in the meat of it.
Yes.
So good. Join us on Patreon if you're a Survivor stan. And thank you guys for joining us live. Super appreciate all of your thoughts and your faux spoilers.
We do love all of that. And if you're joining us later, let us know what you thought about this week. The messy duo play, the messy party, the messy roast on the feeds. And how do you feel about Kyle leaving us this week? And who do you want to be the Invisible HOH? Let us know.
Invisible HOH. Yes. All right. Let us know all of your thoughts, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.